This light is to remain constantly burning. In most synagogues, even around the Midrash at Hesha, today have this light symbolically above the ark. In the Torah, like today, it is called Ner Tamid, an eternal light. To light these lights reminds people that there is still a light and still a tomorrow. The Kohanim, the priests, are also commanded to craft specific kinds of clothing. They require different colors such as scarlet, turquoise, and lapis. The priests, the spiritual leaders of the people in the desert, were honored by their work by getting these intricately designed clothes. I would like to thank you all for being here today. Despite what is going on in the world, the difficulties.
Oh, we're going to start over. Let's do that again. Yeah, they want to hear that page again. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people spoken, Alan.
Take the thing off.
Take them off. Take it off.
Take it off the thing, yeah.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. Thank
I
you.
would like to thank you all for being here today. Despite what is going on in the world and the difficulties it has presented this year, it is meaningful to me that you are here watching me become a Bar Mitzvah. Today I am not having a Bar Mitzvah. It is not an event. I am the Bar Mitzvah. As a young Jewish adult, I recognize I have more control over the choices I make and more responsibility for their outcomes and consequences. I also know I cannot do everything by myself. I need my family and friends to help lift me up, just as I do for them. Today you are here helping me celebrate this big moment in my life and in the life of my family. In my Torah portion, Tetzaveh, God commands the priests to observe certain practices. The first is to light lights in the Mishkan, the traveling sanctuary in the Sinai wilderness. This light is to remain constantly burning, and most synagogues, even our own Midrash and Heshel, today have this light symbolically above the ark. In the Torah, like today, it is called the Ner Tamid, the eternal light. To light these lights reminds people that there is still a light and still a tomorrow. The Kohanim, the priests, are also commanded to craft specific kinds of clothing. They require different colors, such as scarlet, turquoise, and lapis. The priests, the spiritual leaders of the people in the desert, were honored in their work by getting these intricately designed clothes. Getting these clothes matters because the priests are the leaders of the people, and wearing these vestments shows them. The final commands to the priests in my parsha is in regard to the type of sacrifices they should offer, and just how to do it. I think becoming a Bar Mitzvah means going into Jewish adulthood, like getting to participate in more events and gaining respect. I also think it means that people look at you in a different way. For example, after having a Bar Mitzvah, you are now able to take part in a minyan and are able to lead services. Also, becoming a Bat Mitzvah means you have to set a good example for other kids around you. I would not be here if it weren't for the support of some very important people. My parents have given me a home and education. They have done so much for me, and I would like to take this chance to thank them. My Torah portion spoke about the responsibilities and special clothing for the Kohanim, the priests. Our Jewish communities today do not rely on priests in the same way. Though we all have different types of leaders, we still look up to for the various roles they take on. It is important we can identify these leaders so we know how to model their behavior. They may not always wear special clothing, so the task is a bit hard. But through light, we can see what is good and what is truly important. We can still know how to act, how to behave, how to make this work better than we found it.
You know, I think it's pretty cool. First of all, do you see how good this kid looks in his suit today? Yeah. Thank you for saying that out loud, too. Yeah. Look, sometimes clothing makes the man. And look, you could have had this same effect, right? We would have all loved you today if you showed up in like a Kobe jersey, some basketball shorts, right? But like, you dress up for these moments. And sometimes we do have to wear certain clothing. And certainly having those Kohanim, the priests, and the Torah doesn't always go into detail. And that it went into detail about these priests' clothing. And of course, on Yom Kippur, the priests wore only white. So it was a very different setup. And the way that they described building the Mishkan last week. Of course, this is my tallest bag, and this is the breastplate. These are some of the colors that Alan actually chanted. Some of the words in the Torah portion were about the colors that were on the breastplate, on the clothing of these priests. And I think it's so powerful about the two things that you spoke about light and about clothing. And of course, you mentioned this Ner Tamid that we have in Heschel, a Ner Tamid in many synagogues across the world. And I also remember that when I was growing up, above my ark, it said, Dalifnei miyat ha'omed, know before whom you stand. And just yesterday, we celebrated Chag Purim, the holiday of Purim. And of course, one of the key components of that holiday is that Mordechai, Esther's uncle, refuses to bow down to he who shall not be named, Haman. Give me a boo. Give me a boo. Thank you, friends. So of course, he won't bow down to him. He only bows down to the one God. And of course, throughout our day today, we've bowed down a few times. We've recognized before whom we stand as well. And part of your Torah portion is just recognizing where you are and when you are. Knowing there's a time and a place for everything. There is a season, turn, the birds say after Kohelet, a book in the Bible as well. I am so proud of all that you have accomplished. I'm proud of the way that you handle yourself, how you carry yourself. When I say to my colleagues, our teachers at Heschel, when I get to have these moments with students, and I was saying I was doing your Bar Mitzvah, and every teacher was so excited because you leave such a good impression on every instructor, on every one of your classmates. Everyone wished, when I saw some students at Heschel yesterday, they just wanted to say, tell Alan we say Mazal Tov. Tell Alan we say congratulations. Everyone respects you. Everyone loves you. You're an important member of our community. You're an important member of this community. And I wish you nothing but strength from here on out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we were trying to figure out who the Kohen. I actually am a Kohen. My father was a priest. My grandfather. And so I want to give you your Kat Kohani as my wrap-up to this talk right now. The priestly blessing. Sometimes families give it on Shabbat, but it's a blessing that the priests were asked to give. And not that we're the source of the blessing, because we're not. We're the conduits. And so too are these conduits for blessing. And so too now are you the conduit for blessing. I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder, buddy. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichinecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless and protect you. May God shine upon you and through you. May God grant you everything you've ever wanted. Shalom, peace for you, for your family, for your friends.
Amen.
We are actually going to transition to the end of our service right now. There's some food out, and Kevin's looking hungry. So we're going to go to Ein Keloheinu, following on page 508. You're lucky I know your name, buddy. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kimalkeinu, Ein Kimoshienu. Mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Eloheinu, mi Moshienu. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Malkeinu, no del Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Sheitiru, Avotenu, Lefanecha Ketoret Hasamim. Now that you're a Jewish man, will you tell these fine folks to please rise for our Lady? He said please, you gotta listen. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula liyotzeh b'reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשיבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. I'm actually going to invite you to sit down too. You can sit there.